Well, we got recommended Paul Rees as a business by actually by a customer of ours. He's a quite successful businessman himself. The customer that recommended Paul Rees to us. We got in touch with Paul, and then he came to the restaurant and had a meeting with us just to see what we were about, what we wanted out of him, and what he can offer to us, basically. And ever since then, it's been a blessing in disguise. Honestly, it's been amazing. There's been a massive change within our business since we've been introduced to Paul Rees, and I can't speak any more highly of him, to be honest. Our key challenge was honestly to change our mindset on how to run a business. I think that was our biggest factor. I think that's the biggest change that Paul has implemented into our business, our mindset, and shifting our mindset and understanding how you should work within a business. It could be quite intense, I'd say, his coaching formula, but I would say he deep dives into a lot of factors within your business, yourself as a person, and he picks up the smallest of things about you and the business where you think that he wouldn't know, but somehow you just you'll just say it and you'll just figure it out. So that's one thing I'd say. He's quite niche with how he coaches. He pays a lot of he pays a lot of attention to details, I would say, that's for sure. So yeah, he was really just challenge every decision you'd say or make within the business or your life in general as well. Don't expect it just to be about the business. He deep dives way more into your life. Obviously, there's boundaries, but he does look a lot more into you as a person as well as your business as well, which I think is really good, because a business is a business, but what runs the business is the person. So you have to look at the person and understand the person to actually understand the business and how that person is running the business. So that's one thing I'd say Paul's really good at, which was really beneficial for me to run my business. I've finished my coaching with Paul now, and just looking at where we are now to where we were, massive change. Honestly, a massive change. And there's still a lot of stuff to be worked on within my business, but all these stuff that Paul has, me and Paul have discussed and talked about implementing. Is just we as a business have to do it through stages. We can't just rush it all in with my business. So yeah, my favorite feature on Paul's coaching formula is probably, I'd say, just how personal he gets with you and your life, because I think that's very important. It just shows that he's not just there to doing what he does as a business, because some coaches could just be there, they just focus on your business and just because that's their job and that's all they care about, really. That's what you're paying them for. But with Paul, you could tell he feels more, like he wants more from you. So for me, it's just him being very personal with your personal life and even his personal life. You touch it about his self and his life, and you build that connection. You build a really strong connection by that, I believe, instead of just work focusing on the business or what he can do for your business and so on. So for me, it's definitely that personal relationship he builds with you. It's really nice. It's very appreciative from my side, and I know from my mother's side as well. One of my challenges were I was quite shy, like even doing something like this, the way I'm talking now, I wouldn't be able to put all these sentences together. For me, that's probably one of the biggest challenges that I've overcome, is probably my confidence and being able to communicate clearly with other businessmen and so on. Like, for example, yesterday I went to an event where usually, and I was there just networking and communicating with all the suppliers and other people within the catering industry, getting contacts and details. It's amazing. Where 6 months ago, I probably would have shied away from all of that. I would have waited for people to come to me before I start talking. Where I went towards suppliers and so on to actually communicate and get what I need from them. So I'd say that's probably the biggest challenge that I've achieved with Paul. It's my self-confidence and just mainly around business people. I just felt a bit, not, I wouldn't say less worthy, but I didn't feel like I was at the same pedestal as them, just because maybe they're a bit older than me, because I'm quite young to be running the business. What advice I'd give someone who's on the fence with Paul's formula? Well, I'd tell them to just look at me and look at my story. And I'm sure you will all hear about my story. So that's definitely what I would say. And he has personally changed my life when it comes to like my business and just the way I run my business now. There's a massive shift, massive change in culture in the business now. And there's still a lot of work to do. Don't get me wrong, a lot of work to do. But with Paul's coaching, I know we will get there. 100% we'll get there, and it won't take long either, because I've been with Paul for 6 months now, and we've implemented a lot of things already. Yeah, it's been a lovely journey. I'm very, very thankful and grateful for this experience and journey I've had with him. And it's not the end anyway. It's been 6 months. Our contract is, over, but it's definitely not the end of my work with Paul. That's for sure.